Hi guys and gals, dctmakes here. This is a whole house filter. It's 5" by 20.5, and a little, and 21 on the other dimension. But this is a ugly task to do under the house or in the attic. So I thought I'd pull it out and see if people have frustrations doing it. There's some, you know, one, put it in an area where you've got plenty of space. Two, when you're looking at it, make sure you understand the arrows. The kit itself that you're putting it in, the shoe you put it in, has flow arrows and positional. So this is the front that's actually looking at you when you take the little door off in the unit, when you pull this whole filter out. And the airflow is, obviously you know where the airflow is in your air conditioners, coming from inside the house up through the filter, through the condenser, and then across the coils and everything, and then cooled air. But taking this apart, the shoe apart, so you can use these cheaper than buying a solid one. They are a bit cheaper, but you just have to put it in correctly. Notice there's different shapes on one end than the other, for good reason. Plus there's some holes in them that when you take this unit apart, you'll see that there are some clips that go through where the plastic on the inside of these shoes actually is supposed to go on the inside of these, not on this side, not on this side. And then on this one, same deal, piece goes in here, but there's also a shoe that like keeps this area up square. But I'll take it apart and try and show you. This is awful, especially in the middle of summer. But we'll take it apart and see. Here we go. So here's the clips. You don't want to break these off, else you're buying a new shoe. And you see this end is the one that's got the flat, almost like a beam to keep it rigid. And then on the other end, you see there's a shoe in the plastic that fits that piece that we're talking about right there. Now this one's got a piece of it broken off, but we'll see if this helps anybody. Once you've got all the buttons out, put the sides down. When you're putting the filter back in, there's some, like, I don't know, frills that kind of like seal off against the plates each side. All you got to do is make sure that this is in the center and you've got the shoes at the right end, and then you kind of like put these. Let's just zoom in here a little bit. So that piece of paper fits, see that shape there, fits in here, and then that boss there actually goes inside this, and then that pin, the pin goes all the way through there, that's inside, and then through and on the back, and then it clips in. It's kind of the same on the other end, except for there isn't this shoe. So here we go. Now I've just done this under the house because it's a fair ways away from the opening. So I take a sheet down, put a sheet down, got a good white light down there, and I do this under the house because there's a reasonable amount of space. You can't stand up or anything, but in the attic, it must be 140 plus degrees in the attic right now, so we're going to do that here. Sometimes you can't tell how much dirt's in them until you look at a new one. There you go, a new one. Look at that. So pretty dirty. Setting the times on these as well. This isn't like a monthly deal. These, like on the downstairs, they're set to, this one's set to 120 days. And on the upstairs where it doesn't run so much, it's set at 365. So pretty cost efficient. You know, if this cost like $18 kind of deal. Right, here we go. So starting with the shoe side. Good God, need a wider angle camber. Starting with the shoe side on your shoes. What I found is just lay it on, don't worry about what's going on over there. Bring this over, get it in the middle, look down at the little plastic parts and establish it's in the middle. And there's a runner across here and it fits the bottom. Now you can't fold anything up at this point, but what I have found is if you put your fingers on the tops of, see all the little runners here? If you find them with the tops of your fingers and then put your hands over the top, like this, just lay that out. Put your fingers over the top and then pull them in. Just work them down. Don't get frustrated with it. You don't want to rip it, you don't want to bend it. There's like a metal grid on these to keep it rigid. I'm finding the tips there with my fingers, and I'm going to pull the pleat over. Next one's just fell into place just automatically. They get easier the longer you go, further you go down. And then that one's gone in. Pull this one up over the next one. Pull it over, pull it over, pull it over. And you get to the other end. Now at the other end, these are a little tiny bit longer. I think they're meant to fit like 2 or 3 different ones, like a 21 by 21, a 20 and a half, a 20 and a 20 and a half. So there's a little bit left over on the end. You ain't got to worry about that. Now, turn it around. Don't jiggle it about. Make sure your area is clean too. You're gonna pick this side up. You guys see this? Pick this side up. Do the same thing. Make sure it's in the middle. Push down. Get it seated. Now the argumentative part comes. Especially if you're under the house. What we're going to do is we're going to try and put, let's move this down a little bit. We're going to try and put that boss, this plate in front of this, that boss in between these 2 cards. Just take your time. Right, now, this flat card is behind the outside tray that's come up, and that boss is in the middle of this card. And when you push it together, you can feel it click in. Now we do the other side. If it's fighting you on the ends, it just does this, because this is not just like a flat, it's got like 2 little teeth on it to keep it rigid, else it just snap off. So this size here is trying to push in here and it crimps it, so kind of make it a little tiny bit wider there. And I tell you, argumentative part. Just try and be patient with it. You don't want to ruin it. You paid $20 for it, you know. Whatever it was. And success. Now the harder side. So that's in both sides there. Down flat. Right now. On this side, again, we got to put Get a better angle on this for you guys. You got to get the bottom plate behind this plate, this one inside, and that one in there. So you kind of lift it up a little, pucker this up a little bit, slide it forwards, bang it in. So there's plates on top of the card, the boss is in between the cards, and the pin goes all the way through. Do it again on here. So little boss down here on front of the card. You lift this one up just a little bit, get it situated, pull it out, slide it over, push it in, and there you go. You just make sure that you put you back up here. Make sure all your little fronds are in the right spots. Nothing's crimped too badly. There's no massive holes in anything. That's it. This one's the BAYFTAHEXM2, but yeah, hey, all this plastic stuff's made. You know where it's made. All made in the same places. The card's made in Mexico. This plate's, who knows, but majority of the units, regardless of whether it's Trane or anybody else, they always have these kind of units. Or you can just buy a single filter that you just like pull the old one out, put the new one in. But they're a bit more expensive. Plus they get crushed in shipping. So we tried that, but this has worked out real well for us. And it's a huge area of filter. If you lay it all out, it's absolutely massive. That's it. Hope that helps somebody. Subscribe. See you later. DCT Makes out.